my baby, my Stinger. One last ride for us, baby. Now it sounds silly talking to your car, but anyways, one last ride, one last time I'm gonna ask. I know you're gonna get me through today without any problems. You haven't had any problems yet, but still I'm gonna ask you anyways. Please get me through today on this one last ride with you. You know, I've done all my oil changes every 5,000 miles, did the transmission fluid change whenever it was time or necessary, brake fluid flush. I even got a really badass carbon filters for the cabin. I've upgraded your performance, made you sound fucking badass even without an exhaust. Oh fuck, like that. Oh, fish tailing. Alright. Putting traction and stability back on. Ooh, I gotta have some fun today, baby. Alright. Currently 7:07 a.m. Heading up Saddle Road from Hilo side. Honestly, not gonna lie, that fishtail was unexpected, so that was a little on the scary side, especially since there was other cars nearby. Didn't mean to fishtail, didn't mean to lose traction, didn't mean to lose control. You know, I wouldn't have felt as scared if there wasn't others nearby, and I didn't think it was gonna do that, to be honest, to be fair. But also, to be fair, I did kind of rip it the other day. I did grind at least some of the wear on the new tires that I just bought. Let's see, I believe back in October of last year is when I bought new tires, new brake pads, new rotors. Dropped $4,500 on that shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, yes, you know, it's worth it. You know, you gotta maintain your vehicle, but fuck, $4,500 to have only driven this 1 month after and then get into an accident that considered this car deemed a total loss, and I only got to drive it pretty much near 6 months after, before it gets towed away, dumped. Sad. But you know, I'm gonna talk to my Stinger as if it actually does have a soul. I believe it does. You know, call me silly, immature, crazy, you know, stupid man, whatever, but you know, the way I took care of this car was like it was my baby, like it was my own child. I took care of her. I always cleaned her. I made sure that whenever someone looked at her inside and out, it was like a direct representation of me, like an extension of me. Today I'm not gonna be in a rush, especially since, you know, you got shit weather right now. Roads is wet, as you can see. But you know, if it does clear up, if there's no one around, lots of road access, if something does happen, you know, I'll rep it one last time. Like I said, fastest I ever went in this, 176 miles an hour. And then this is this is Saddle Road. This is about a hour half drive, depending on how fast or how slow you drive. Four Seasons in Hawaii on this island is an additional half an hour drive on top of that, so it's like about a hour half, 2 hour drive, again depending on how fast or slow you're going. But yeah, one night I just had like a shitty night. This is like a year after ownership of this vehicle. I didn't do any performance mods, bone stock, everything relatively new. My slowest speed back to Hilo across Saddle Road, 155. Top speed, 176. Typically, everyone takes an hour half at the fastest to make it from Four Seasons back to Hilo. I drove back in, I shit you not, do the math, I shit you not, 24 minutes. This is a 90-mile drive. Do the math. Alright? And I did the math myself. It checks out. Slowest speed 155, top speed 176. Total distance of the drive 90 miles. And I claim, and I know I did, make it back in 24 minutes. Additionally, all my lights were off, just guided by the moonlight, and it was a bright moonlight. But still, what I did was highly illegal, multiple felony charges. I will admit. Yeah, I believe I was 23, 24 years old at the time. So, I was young, I was dumb, I was broke. I had a shitty day. I regret what I did heavily. I shouldn't have done that. Had something happen, that's why I regret it today, doing that. But at least I can say, fastest I ever drove, 176. And fastest I ever made it back to Hilo across Saddle, 24 minutes from Four Seasons, which is a very far distance. But other than that, I haven't exceeded past 120 miles an hour ever since. I believe I kept it at, actually, I'm sorry, that's technically a lie. Maybe like several times I hit 150 plus, but this is before. See, this is before my most recent accident. This is right after I got brand new tires, brake pads, and rotors. I believe fast as I went, after I changed all that stuff, I do recall seeing like 158, 153-ish, around there. But a little bit of backstory. I owned a white 2020 Toyota Corolla LE trim, and I had put on a bunch of cheap, tacky shit, fake carbon fiber shit, you name it, ricer shit, onto this car. Oh, sorry, not this car, but onto the Corolla. And a couple factors came into play when I decided to trade it off for this car. I did owe $21,000 left on the loan. But I even had a pink underglow lights, I had pink underglow lights on the Corolla. I got caught going 5 over in Hilo, in front of the Hilo airport in the Corolla. I don't know why they decided to pull me over even though I was going 5 over. Everybody goes 5 over in Hawaii. Fucking retarded. Fuck you, officer, by the way. I forgot your name. I don't care. But basically pulled me over, harassed me, bullied me, told me, you know, your Corolla sucks. I don't know why you have all this fucking shit on your car. You know, my bone stock base model 4Runner will smack the shit out of your Corolla if we ran a race. I don't know why you're sticking on all this stupid gay shit. Like, basically, literally just told me that straight to my face. And, you know, I was just standing there like a fucking faggot, just like, oh, yeah, okay. You know, I understand, officer, you know. I wasn't gonna badmouth him to his face. I was trying to be the bigger man and, you know, just being like, you know, just bite my tongue. But he fucking just kept laying into me one thing after the other of why my car sucks and why his is better. After that, my dad told me, you know, I don't know why you keep sticking on all this shit to make your car look fast when it isn't fast. And it doesn't sound good, and it, you know, basically, you know, it doesn't sound fast. So he told me, why don't you just get a car that is fast and looks fast? So the next day, I left with the Corolla. Kia gave me 19 for it, so I lost $2,000. So 19 plus the $2,000, you know, makes up for the 21 I owed. Left on it. And then it was on Memorial Day. This was also when I believe this is actually when Killshot dropped from Eminem. And yeah, they had a sale. Dropped from 51 down to 45. Oh, sorry, 52 down to 45. $7,000 off. Shipped from Maui. This ceramic silver 2020 Kia Stinger GT1 rear wheel drive. And they took the 45, added the 19, added the $2,000 that I still owed left over the deficiency after what they valued it as. Brought it up to a $67,000 car on a $50,000. Sorry. Gotta wait till this guy passes. Yeah, so I had a $67,000 car payment on a fucking $50,000 valued car. Not the best financial decision I ever made in my life. Still not the worst. That's a story for another day, but basically, I will tell you guys right now, worst financial decision I ever made in my life. I had saved $30,000, all of my tax returns. This is before I started at Four Seasons, 7 years ago. Dropped the full $30,000 on a shipping container of canister shells, specifically the death shells. For you pyrotechnics out there, you know what this is. For you non-pyrotechnics out there, this was the hardest hitting shell, firework shell of 2020 at the time. So I dropped $30,000 on death shells. Back when COVID first started, I don't know if you guys remember, but the LA harbor got backed up. Thousands of shipping vessels, millions of fucking shipping crates scattered across these vessels. My container was on there stuck. Didn't get word of anything about it for the next 3 years, even though I was expecting it to come in within a month. And the fucking guy that was my middleman that communicated with the guy in the mainland pussied out, fucking told me, sorry bro, at least he admitted. He told me, I have to admit, fuck, I'm too scared to go pick it up for you. We cannot do this. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to cut your losses. I'm like, well, I mean, either way I look at it, still I gotta say fuck you. You're an asshole. But on the other hand too, I completely 100% understand. He has a family. He has a lot. I wouldn't say he has a lot going for him, but he had some stuff going for him. Had a nice job, nice career, nice family, kids, wife. I understand. But he didn't even try to communicate with the guy in the mainland. Can you reimburse my boy, me? Because I feel like a fucking dick. But anyways, getting back to the Kia Stinger. Even though I made this car a $67,000 car valued at $50,000 when I first drove it off the lot, I had a lot of fun with it. Honestly, not even thinking about the price. If anything, thinking more of it as I bought it for $45,000 instead, right? So thinking about it in that perspective, fuck me, man. This is easily gonna be the best, the most fun car I ever drove in my life, hands down. The most comfortable too as well. And I am glad I picked it up. When I was at Four Seasons, let's see, I lifted a big ass heavy utensil bin the wrong way. I herniated one of my spinal discs. I believe it's the L34 vertebrae. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. Been living with it since. I actually just recently re-herniated it, or one of the other discs just came out of the ER, by the way. Other than that, what is this guy doing? Why are you making a right blinker? You're not. What the fuck, man? Yeah, so I'm just gonna go in front of you because I don't like how you're driving. Alright. Nothing wrong with your speed, bro. Nothing wrong with your speed. But if you don't know where the fuck you're going, get the fuck out of my way. I do not want to crack up because of your dumbass. Alright. Anyways. Let's see. What else can I say about this car? What I don't like about it. After the... Okay. Going too fast. Slow down. Shit weather. I was going 70 and 60. Let's see. Bad things about this car. I highly recommend to all of you, whoever does, consider buying a Kia Stinger, very first thing you should install on here, other than of course your wherever you live, depending. For me, I live in Hawaii. First thing I did, tint, mud / splash guards, custom fitted raised heavy duty rubber floor mats. Let's see what else. I did have seatbelt pads, Stinger embroidered on there, as well as a custom fitted heavy duty raised rubber floor mat for the cargo area. I also got the brand name is called Quick Snap, QUIKSNAP. I got Quick Snap, I believe it's called something like window fittings for your car. Like it's like mesh material with like a pretty hard, sturdy wire frame. Yeah, I got that for the additional sun protection or UV ray protection. Other than that, one of the other first cosmetic things I did, full ceramic graphene coat, actually double layered ceramic graphene coat, which is also what I just recently did to my new Toyota 4Runner. Other than that, first thing to put under the hood, and I highly recommend this for every single vehicle that you buy. I mean, it's not even necessarily just the Kia Stinger. Every vehicle, very first modification you should put under the hood. Number one, oil catch can. As long as this vehicle that you picked has an intake, I highly recommend you put an oil catch can just to preserve the vehicle longer in terms of mechanical parts. I 100% highly recommend that as the first modification you should put under the hood. Honestly though, it's not even considered a modification. It's more so for the whole maintenance aspect of a vehicle. It doesn't add any performance to your car in any way, but I still consider it a modification, simply just because, well, most modern cars don't even come with a fucking oil catch can, so it's not filtering out all that shit, espresso sludge that normally gets thrown back, no filter, out of your I believe it's the intake or intake manifold. But either way, I highly suggest that as the number one first thing you should put under the hood. Second most important thing, specifically to the Stinger now. Number one, after doing my research, number one first thing, spark plugs. That opens up the floodgates to you being able to put down performance mods. So before you even do the spark plugs, I highly recommend you sit down, take the time, make a list of all the performance mods you want or plan on eventually putting in the Kia Stinger. Get the list done first, then sit down again after that and decide, do I actually plan on keeping this car long enough for me to get all of this shit done by, you know, work out all your financial maths, whatever you need to do, and then decide from there, you know, can I actually afford to put this whole entire list on my Kia Stinger? And then, you know, if you can't, you know, trim it down, cut it in half. And if you can't do half, cut it in half again. That's what I did. So I only put on 1/4 of all the performance mods that I actually wanted to put on here. There's a shit ton of other mods I would have enjoyed putting on here. But after the spark plugs, second thing, a tuner chip. Don't cheap out, especially on the Stinger. You know, you're paying at least 45 grand, at least the exact same within that ballpark of what I paid for a new Stinger. But I don't know what the fuck that creaking sound is. I don't know if it's... I mean, I emptied everything out. I don't know what the... Yeah. Sorry. I don't know if you guys can hear that creaking sound like I can, but... Maybe it's a good thing I'm getting rid of it. It's fucking creaking, getting old or shit. But... anyways. Or maybe it's my fucking... AC. Let's see. Other than that, yeah, I highly recommend you invest in, at the very least, a $500 plus tuner chip for the Kia Stinger. But I highly recommend, also at the very least, investing even more than that. You know, personally, I dropped just over $1,100 on the JP4 tuner chip for this car. There's some others out there around that price, if not maybe a little cheaper, depending on you know, the market value, the current market value of it and stuff. But after you get that tuner chip on there, also invest in I took it off, but I highly suggest you invest in one of the most expensive radar detectors, because obviously now that you got the tune chip on there, you're gonna want to speed, right? You're gonna want to go fast, but you also don't want to get caught. So don't cheap out. You might as well get the best radar detector, or at least one of the best radar detectors on the market. So that would be my number 3. Number 4 thing after that, get yourself some dual cold air intakes for the Stinger. I personally, at the time, there wasn't such a thing as a closed off, boxed in cold air intake for the Stinger. So I just got a open dual cold air intake from K&N, 2 of them. That added more sound, more of like a whooshing sound. I would say it's more like a whoosh, like that kind of a sound. So that would be my number 4. My number 5 highly recommended mod after that. I highly recommend getting from Velocitech their big mouth snorkel air ducts. So that'll help out your new cold air intakes and sucking in more cold air through the front grille of this car. Specifically because Well, when I took a look at how Kia designed the original snorkel air ducts behind the grill, I was pretty flabbergasted. I looked at it and I was like, what the fuck were they thinking when they put this shit in here? To me, honestly, out of all the things I've seen on this car, that was the one thing that was like low IQ. I had to look at it and I was like, it would have just been better if this fucking part was just not on here in the first place. So I just kind of want you guys to imagine like a rectangular prism shaped cheap black plastic box. It's a 3-piece box from what I can remember. You can disassemble it, but I kept it whole when I took it off. So imagine the air flowing directly into your front grille of your car, right? This fucking air duct, the opening to suck air in through the fucking grill was on the top of this box, right? And not to mention the way it was assembled behind the grill, the top opening for the airflow, it wasn't even directly in line with the grill. It was like pretty high up, like closer to the hood, if anything. Or actually, I should say closer to the top, very top part of the front bumper. And I was just looking at it like, how the fuck is air even gonna get in? And then I took a look on the inside. I disassembled it after. So it goes. So they expected that. So they wanted the air to go into the grill, up, over, down into the fucking air duct, and then it fucking goes down, out, in, and then comes back around, and then goes in. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, honestly, it would have been better if I stuck a fucking straw in there, like a fucking McDonald's straw. I would have gotten a lot much better airflow if I connected a fucking McDonald's straw than whatever the fuck that was. So I will admit that was definitely the cheapest, most unfunctional stock part of the vehicle that I've personally seen with my own eyes. There might be more, probably more than just that one, but that's just what I've seen. Number 6, highly recommended part or modification in terms of performance in order that I recommend is right after that, get yourself dual blow-off valves for it. Personally, I chose the ADD W1s. I believe it's, so if you Google it, ADD minus W1 is what you need to search for. That will significantly improve the sound coming from the turbos. And for me, I tightened that fucker as tight as I could. I mean, obviously I'm not gonna fucking break it, but it's as tight as it can be. But shit, other than that, that's pretty much all the performance mods I have on this Kia Stinger. So I expect, or I would assume, I added at least So I'm gonna give a humble number. I want to say at the very least, I added 100 horsepower and 100 torque to the vehicle. Especially since if I'm looking to do some pulls, I'm running my custom map 6 on the JB4 app. I have everything spec'd out. I did my research. There's a lot of things you can configure, so it took me a while, but yeah. So I want to say I added at least 100 horsepower and 100 torque. So, but I honestly feel like this is a 500 horsepower, 500 torque vehicle when I'm really flooring it. Honestly, the amount of power I have on here, even the brand new Michelin Pilot Sport 3s that I got for it, wasn't enough to, or it didn't provide enough traction, honestly. Easily, like within a month, you're gonna start having a lot of slips when you floor it with these modifications that I listed on the vehicle. But yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much all the information I just wanted to share with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, ask me any kind of questions that you guys want to ask me. I'm more than happy to answer any questions about the Stinger. Because I believe I should be one of those Stinger owners out there that has at least driven the Stinger the most. I know there's a lot of other Stinger owners out there that has well over 100 miles on their odometer, but I would assume I'm in the top 50% in terms of how much miles I put on this and how long I've owned this car. So I do have some experience, but for the value you get of spending $45,000 on a luxury 4-door sports sedan, you're getting all of the packages a normal 4-door sports sedan would give you, that would normally be valued at, I want to say, easily $60,000, if not $70,000 plus. This car on YouTube I've seen go in a head-to-head comparison video with Audis that is damn nearly twice its price point, and it fucking smokes it, blows it right out of the water, bone stock on both vehicles. I believe I forget the exact name of the Audi, but it was one of the 4-door sedan Quattro trim levels. But I believe that was valued at $85,000. Fucking pricey, but you get a lot less power in that Audi in comparison to this $45,000 Stinger. So without further ado, again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like, leave a comment, ask any questions you guys want. Hit the subscribe button. Aloha. Thank you.